Hey YouTube, it is Wednesday, a little after 9 o'clock. I have a Mandela effect that just happened to me. Um, I am very spooked out here. Um, it's like a Mandela effect, kind of like spooky in the same sense. It's just I wanted to come in here and just do a video. It's super insane. Um the title of this video is Who is Michael Hunt? Okay, so I get notification on my Facebook. And I check my Facebook. I don't really go on my Facebook like that. I don't really post that much. I'm not really on that site. Sometimes I feel like I want to deactivate it. But I don't, because I have family members that, from the Dominican Republic, that I don't have their number, that I'm friends with on Facebook, and we connect on Facebook. So that's the only reason I don't deactivate my Facebook. But if it hadn't been for them, it would be completely gone. So I proceed to, check. And then I have this friend of mine that we went to school. She's like, apparently she was like on one of these other sites or whatever. Cause like you could go on like different groups on Facebook. Like you have like, I'm on a group for the town that I live in. And I'm on the free cycle group, and I'm on, like the remote work group. So I'm on different types of group within Facebook. So she happened to be on a group, and they were like talking, and I guess the subject came up, and she says apparently she in that group that she's on said that she was a liar, and and they were talking about this guy named Mike Hunt. Now, I have no recollection of who Mike Hunt is. And these people that I went to school with, that I graduated with, they remember him and say, oh, they remember even what street he lived on. And, oh, he lived over here in Dover, because I graduated Dover High School. I'm a Dover High School alumni. I'm a Dover Tiger, class of 1999. He supposedly went to school with us. Now, I understand that, there might be some people that you might not know, or whatever, but trust me, I knew a lot of people, and I would have remembered him. I even remember the people that were nerds. I remember everybody. I remember like who they are. You could talk to me about somebody and I'm like, oh, I know who he is. Like, I knew everybody. I knew people that graduated like 3 years before even my sister graduated and my brother graduated, because my sister and my brother, they graduated the same year, 98. I know people that graduated 4 years like after I graduated. You know what I mean? I knew a lot of people. And the street, I don't want to put street names because, I want to like protect their privacy and people, but I would have remembered. Which is like really crazy, like the street and everything like that. I knew everybody from that street. I used to be playing outside and riding bikes, and I used to do skateboards and, rollerblades. So I was a crazy child. I knew everybody. I knew what was going down. I knew the house parties. I knew what they were into. And then I have a friend of mine that she texted me, and she's like, do I remember Michael? Because his name is Michael Hunt. I don't remember him. Then she was like, yeah, I remember him. He went to school with us, blah, 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 and this and that. And she remembers him. But then the weird thing, what was almost like a paranormal thing to me was, she has like all these yearbooks, and she was going through her yearbooks, and he's not on the yearbooks, but she was looking at multiple yearbooks, which is like freaking me out because she remembers like, and I told her, I'm like, okay, so was he a white guy? Was he a black guy? Because I have no recollection of him. Was he Hispanic? Like, I mean, Michael Hunt is not really a Hispanic name and stuff like that. Because, Spanish people have Sosa, Rodriguez, Gomez, Perez, names like that are like infamous for like Hispanic. So Hunt could either be a black or white name. So I'm like, what was he, black or white? She's like, oh, he's a black guy. He was super annoying and this and that and explaining it. But she was checking yearbooks. Now, I used to have my yearbooks, but I used to live in a town in Morris County in Wharton, New Jersey, which is like right the next town from Dover. So it's between Dover and like Kenville and Mine Hill. And it's like right by Rockaway, there was a flood and the one room got flooded out, got saturated and, could create mold and everything like that. I was really devastated. I have to throw it out. So I'm so mad because I would have loved to look at the yearbook and see. But to take it a step further, there's like, that thing that's called Classmates. This app, this website that you go on, and I went to Classmates. And he graduated with us or whatever, or the year before or the year after. I went as far as going, cause he was in the school with us, like he went to school with us. So it was either 4 years before when we were like, freshmen or 4 years after when we were seniors. So I went 4 years starting from when we were freshmen and 4 years after when we were seniors, me and my friend, and I couldn't find any Michael Hunt. So it's like kind of weird. Like I understand with the whole Mandela effect, like, Curious George, if he had a tail or if he didn't, or Bernstein, or the Monopoly, did he have a monocle or he didn't? Like certain things like saying, like the Sally Field saying, like the Wizard of Oz. I understand that. But, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's like, cause your mind, you know what I mean? Like I'm like attributing it to like, or the Sinbad, like the movie or whatever. Like I understand that some certain things, you might like not really pay attention because, your life is like, busy. So maybe you were watching a movie and like the phone rang and you were talking on the phone, but you were watching a movie. So you didn't really pay attention, or you were doing your homework while the award. And when Sally Field came on and she said the saying, you were doing your homework. So maybe like you wrote a word while she was, saying the reward, like she was getting her award. And you were saying, you were writing a word and then you that word was in your mind. So you added on to that word from what she said. Like I always had an explanation to why, the Mandela effect happened. And like, oh, maybe like, with the whole Monopoly thing, like, maybe, there was another board game that was by the Monopoly. Like I was always like thinking like, but then I'm like, in hindsight, like too many people are experiencing the same thing. So I'm like, there must be more to this than there is. And now I'm even more drawn because the Mandela effect never really, I remember certain things like, like I would go to an establishment. I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't this color and that color? So I did kind of like experience the Mandela effect a little bit, but I'm like, well, maybe it was my mind. Maybe like I passed the sign, you know what I mean? I always, like I said, I always thought of it, differently. You know what I mean? I always thought like there must have been like some logical explanation why, this is happening, but nothing in this realm of Mandela effect happened to me personally. You know what I mean? Where people that I know are remembering a person. And this is a person. This isn't just like, oh, a movie or an object, or you saw a sign and this or that. This wasn't even that. This was a human person. So is the Matrix like adding and subtracting people? This is like really mind-blowing to me. Like, this is a human being that people are remembering and other people are not. And like, I wish I could like insert like the receipts and stuff like that, but like me and my friend, we were like having an exchange, like a text message. Like we were text messaging, you know what I mean? Each other. And she remembers this individual and I don't remember him. And when I go on Classmates and, you know, going on Facebook, I'm like, certain people are remembering him and certain people aren't. Like, this is like really like, what wizardry is happening? That was the first paranormal thing that happened to me yesterday. The second paranormal thing, I wish I could have caught it on my phone. My fibromyalgia was flaring up, and this happened before the Mandela effect thing happened to me yesterday. So two things happened to me yesterday. Because I was in my room, the fibromyalgia was acting up. I was in my room, in my bed, and I was contemplating cooking, but I still winded up cooking yesterday, but it was like a drag. But I was lying down. I stood up from my bed. And then after I stood up from my bed, I was still looking at the TV. I was like, let me stand up from my bed and let me kind of like do some stretching. Like, I'll kind of like try to stretch, but still me sitting on the bed. And then my son, because my husband left, he went to his part-time job. So he wasn't even here. He was at the church because he works at a church. So he's working at a church. And the only two people that were in the house was me and my older son. And he was upstairs in his bedroom. And he's the only one upstairs in his bedroom. And he was watching a show in the room because he was watching, he was on his smart TV and he was on YouTube and he was watching stuff on YouTube and he was entertained. And I was hearing him making noise or whatever. And I was in my room. Now, this, if I felt like it was a rock that was thrown. And I was like, who's throwing rocks? I was like, and then I thought maybe my husband came back and he finished the church and he just didn't call me and he was like trying to scare me. So I was like, that's weird. So I said, Brian. Both my husband and my son are both named Brian. So if I say Brian, they both respond, which one? So I said Brian. And I said Brian multiple times. My younger son said yes. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm upstairs. And he was laughing. He's like, I'm watching videos. And I'm like, my husband wasn't home. So I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, and then I called my younger son's name, Chris. He wasn't home. And I looked at the time. I was like, he wouldn't even be home anyway. Because my younger son, he's in this program, Reach. And he doesn't get home until like 6:30 at night. So I'm like, around 6:30. I'm like, it wasn't even nowhere near 6:30. I'm like, it's definitely can't be him. So it freaked me out. Freaked me out. I was like, what is going on? And I got up and I checked the floor. And I'm like, and I'm like, It wouldn't sound because I have rugs in my car in my bedroom. And it sounded like a pebble or something, like somebody threw a pebble. But after the pebble, it was like I swore I saw like a shadow. It looked like it was like a force. And I'm like, "What?" And I looked around and it was like gone. It was like a wish. It was like a black thing. It was like weird. Um so I go into the hallway and I am checking and checking. I wish I could have caught it on and I could have showed YouTube. I'm like so annoyed that I didn't catch it, but I I look all over in the hallway and I didn't see anything at first. And I was like, what's going on? And then I saw a bolt. Like, like this, like, like the nuts and bolts. I saw that and I'm like, how is this here? And where did it come from? Because in the hallway, let me go upstairs and I'm going to show you. In the hallway, there's nothing in the hallway. Let me check. There's nothing in the hallway. Because I checked. I'm up here in my hallway. And there's nothing in this hallway that could have fell. Like like there's nothing in the hallway. It was freaking me out. Like in this light thing, like that you see up here. Like if you see this light thing, it's rusted. And you can't put anything or you can't take anything out. It's rusted. Our super has to do something in order to put a light bulb there. My husband and I cannot put a light bulb there. We have to call him. And he has in there, if you see closely, like it's one of those light bulbs that last long. It's the energy efficient one, so it's the one that coils and stuff like that. And this is just our carbon monoxide and everything like that. There's no bolts here. And then picture frames, our bookshelf. There's nothing here that could have gotten that thing here. There's nothing here. This is mine and my husband's like hallway closet. This is a cross just to give us good luck. There's nothing here, YouTube, that could produce what I saw. There's nothing here. You see, there's nothing here that could have done it. And the nut was right here. Like it was right, like in this area right here where I saw it. And then, okay, and then what explains that little like I saw like a blackness. Like, what is that too? So I'm like super freaked out, and I'm getting more freaked out because my husband works at a church and they have funeral services there. And a couple of like a couple weeks ago, he had to clean the sanctuary because they were having services. And then after services, he had to clean it again because, just to vacuum clean, wipe down the pews, and then like they had like a service section. Like I guess they have like a downstairs, or I don't know, they have like a room or something like that. Like, yeah, there's like a downstairs or something like that because there's a stairway after you get out of the church, because it's a church, and it also has like the one section has like the school, And then the other section is the actual church itself where they hold services. And then they have a downstairs where they have like an auditorium and they have like, like a kitchen where you could like whatever. And then there's like a whole different section where they gather and they have that. So they had a funeral service not too long ago. So I don't know if I'm going to have to get like somebody to cleanse this house, because that YouTube freaked me out. And then we have the Mandela effect that happened after that. Because I'm like, well, maybe it's because I haven't been getting any sleep or whatever. But no, it's impossible because I have the piece. Oh, let me show you. I have the piece. I had it in my thing. Let me show you. That I found. Let me see if I have it. And the weird thing about it is, my husband's at work. My husband's at work today. Where did I put it? And my 2 sons are at school. So I'm by myself here. I'm at home by myself. Oh, where is it? Don't tell me it disappeared now. I don't want to look like I'm a liar. Oh, where is it? No, I can't find it. Now that I'm trying to show YouTube, I can't find it. Because I put it in my pocket. It freaked me out. Like, where did I put it? Let me put you right here. YouTube real quickly. Let me put you right here. Unless I threw it out in the garbage, but... No, there it is. This YouTube is what I saw on the floor. So I already showed you YouTube. My hallway. And you see, there's nothing that could have had this. And it looked like somebody threw it. Somebody threw it to catch my attention. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe like the paranormal thing that happened to me, and then like the universe is telling me, because then this Michael Hunt. So what if the Mandela and this paranormal thing is just like whatever's here is trying to tell me its name? Like maybe whatever is here, his name is Michael Hunt, and that was a service that was for him. Now, if it is, I am so sorry what happened to you, buddy. My condolences goes out to your loved ones, but you got to cross over, buddy. You got to cross over. Your time is done. You got other people that are waiting for you at the other side. You don't belong here. I'm sorry, but please don't start with me and my loved ones, please. I don't want no freaky stuff happening when I'm by myself, because I swear to God, I have people coming. I have my bed frame coming. Which I'm going to make another video of that. I just don't want no ish. And that's what I'm excited, because I'm getting now I remember what I told you, YouTube, that I'm supposed to get the long dresser for my younger son, and then I'm supposed to get the footboard, the headboard, and then the nightstand for my older son, and then I'm supposed to get my footboard, headboard. So all my stuff is going to be here. So then now my younger son and my older son are still going to be missing stuff because 2 pieces did not arrive to the warehouse. But we're still getting some stuff today. So my younger son is only going to be missing still going to be missing his long dresser. And my older son is going to still be missing his nightstand. And then my younger son is still going to be missing his long dresser. But they said that they're still going to be coming this month, but later on, like mid this month. So, that's what happened to me yesterday. Freaky stuff. So, just wanted to come in on YouTube to make a video of that. So, make sure you like this video. Write in the comment section what you think about my experience with the Mandela effect, and if you do believe in Mandela effect. And just write if you had any of your personal Mandela effect ever happen to you in your life. And what do you think about this paranormal thing that just happened to me yesterday? And I am very, oh my God, I wish I could have just caught it on YouTube. I am so annoyed.